Hello, everybody. This is JD. How do I say this? Obama shows what he really is made of. Obama shows the total lack of experience a leader has. He has absolutely none whatsoever. Now, how can I say that? Well, back when I was in the Navy, I'm going to go back to the Navy, and I was selected for chief. They gave us this book. It was called the Chief's Book, and what they did with this book is they gave you all kinds of weird, stupid, impossible tasks to do. And when you go to your initiation, that book is presented to the judge, and by how you completed your tasks, you got fined or you got harassed. Well, the purpose of the book was to teach you something very important. To prioritize your tasks. Because not only were you expected to do tasks in the book, you were expected to do your job still in the Navy. Actually, when you got to the initiation, if your book was completely filled out, they really dug into you and said, what did you do for your job? Did you ignore the responsibilities that you had to do this book? And then when it came to mine, my book had some stuff done, but not everything. And they said, why? How come? And I told them, I said, because I had a job to do. I was writing a course. I had to supervise that course writing. I also was an instructor of 2 major courses in the Navy, and I had to supervise my instructors, and plus I had to, teach as well as, continue my classes of the students to produce productive electronic technicians for the aircraft that we worked on. So I did what I could in the book, but first come the responsibilities of the job. And believe it or not, I had one of the lowest fines that was given. I think my fine was like 75 cents. They said, you understand what it's all about. And that's what leadership is. You have to understand what's important and where you should be. And Obama definitely has no comprehension of such. There's 2 things he has created. One, he started something in Libya and then went on vacation. Oh, I have people who can handle it. That, I got to say, is bull. Plain and simple. This is something of high priority, very important, last resort, and the most chaotic outcome could happen instantaneously. And he's on vacation in Brazil. Interesting. No. The leader must lead. Must show. Congress is half right. He should have left his wife and kids on vacation and went to Congress and told what he is planning, how he is planning to do it, what he's expecting to do. No, he went on vacation instead. He had other people who could talk. But that's because he's not a leader. He is part of a group. He's a guy that's in the middle that does things. He's a senator and nothing better. That's what we got for a president. Not a leader. And look what's happening. He started something, and the rest of the coalition is literally falling apart because they expected a leader. And he says, well, now that I'm done with it, goodbye, it's all yours. And they have no idea who to lead or who's going to lead. You can actually see through what is happening right now how much the world looks towards our nation to stand up for what's right and to lead. Whether we may be condemned, whether we may be targeted. They expected a leader to stand up for what is right. And look at the messages we're getting because he's not the one giving the information. One says, oh, our goals is this. One says, oh, our goals is that. One says, oh, well, we're going to try to do this, but we're not going to do that. And one says, well, this is what we're going to do, but not nothing else. None of it makes any sense. Why? Because there's no strong leadership. He's going with the flow. If you look at 2008, I never really made any comments about what I would do. Here's this man who said, oh, we're going to get out of Iraq, we're going to get out of Afghanistan, we're going to put an end to wars, and he's just started a third one, whether he knows it or not. Why? Because his lack of leadership. Right now, I bet that the military is discussing putting advisors into Libya to assist the rebels. That's boots on the ground. And then it goes into troops. And I will agree with a lot of people that says, well, you know, our revolution would have been a failure if it wasn't that the French intervened and helped, which is true. The major defeat of the British at Yorktown was caused by the French Navy blockading Chesapeake Bay so that the British ships from New York could not get down there to evacuate the troops. And that ended the Revolutionary War and started the United States of America. That battle, sea battle between the French and the British, put the end to the Revolutionary War and started the United States of America. We were born out of war, but we always stood for what was right. Now, as Gaddafi being the target, he has given plenty reasons for the United States to actually come and get him, to stand trial. Just to stand trial for the Lockerbie bombing would be significant. But I could see us overlooking all that and giving him some kind of free to go somewhere to live in exile. I would agree to that, to end the war, to end the fighting, to end the killing. Like I said, there was a possibility in one of my suggestions where the Libyan people who are loyal to him can have Gaddafi, and the people who want independence can have a democratic society, well, a parliamentary society run by the people. That was a suggestion. Just one of many outside the box. Now, everybody's looking to the United States. And what do we have? A man on vacation in Brazil who has no idea of really the responsibilities he is thrusted upon himself by becoming president. He became president to have the title, I am president. But he has no idea what the job is. I have a lot of videos talking about a lot of different things. First and foremost, as president, I would be a president of the people, for the people. And they would be the ones I listen to, not Congress. Would I report to Congress? Yes. And I will let Congress know what the people want. And as leader, what I plan on doing. Some will be small, quiet meetings. Some will be. And there'll be tiny people out there, I can't tell you what I'm doing. And when you ask, I will answer that with, ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies. That tells you I am not going to answer that question. But I will be truthful and honest at everything I can be. For example, in the 9/11, whatever it comes out to be will be published, whatever it comes out to be. If it is found that the United States government had a hand into it, I will publish it. If it is found that the United States government had not had a hand into it, I will publish it. But will you all be ready to accept the truth? You see? Because that's the only thing I can deal with. I can't deal with lies. I can't deal with falseness. They're too hard to remember. where the truth is. And the responsibility of a leader I have had thrust on me from the time I first got into the military, from running a little shop as a third-class petty officer, in which a squadron, avionics systems, all rested upon my shoulders. And like one person told me when I fixed something, "Are you sure that that item is fixed? You're saying it's fixed. You're putting that crow on the line every time you sign that paper." And I told him, yes, it is fixed. And I'll put my crow up on anything. Because if I say something, that's the way it's going to be. And then all of a sudden I found myself on our detachment out of the country in charge and running a shop. Yes. Biggest problem I had in the military is when I wasn't put with responsibilities, but just to be there. That I could never do. I have been trained for many, many years on how to be a leader, what a leader is, the responsibility of a leader. I am strong in the belief of the Constitution, and I'm extremely conservative when it comes to the Constitution. But at the same time, I tell you, if you really study the Constitution, you cannot be conservative alone. You have to be a liberal. Because when you say everybody is equal, but then I also understand the refrains and where the government should be and should not be. And our government is getting its tentacles into areas it should never be within this country. Congress is too busy interfering with the states and the individual communities instead of taking care of the government. Our government needs to be a lot smaller. Our tax system is so antiquated. It has so many holes in it. It is ridiculous. We need a simpler system. Some call it the fair tax. Some call it the consumption tax. I say simply, it's a sales tax. Come on. Let's quit playing games. But most important, I have the leadership skill. You can decide whether I do or don't. But you see what it's like to not have a leader as a president? It's more important he goes out and plays games. It's more important that he picks the March Madness. It's more important that he goes on vacations than situations such as which could blow up into be a major war if not handled very, very closely and very correct. And as you could see with the coalition starting to get messed up, they look to the United States for leadership. He's not going to be able to hand it off. He's not going to be able to. Because they look to us, the United States, to stand for what is right. Even though we do make mistakes, people, believe me, we make plenty of them, but we try our best. And he doesn't have the skill or the ability or the understanding of what a leader is. And what's terrible is he's got to learn on the job training. I'm not saying he can't. I hope he's at least half as intelligent as those before him. But it's a heck of a way to learn what leadership is and the responsibilities of leadership. And the power and the awesome control that the president has. Check out my videos on YouTube. Listen to me talk about leadership. You'll understand. Not only am I against a lot of what is going on with the political parties, but I do know what is involved in truly being the leader that people look towards, but yet also the follower of the people of the nation. That is the job of the president, to lead the country and to listen to the people. You have a nice day. This is JD. There's a lot in that statement, to lead the country and listen to the people. For you are my boss, yet I am to lead the nation as president. Think about all that is said in that sentence. Good day. Have a nice day. This is JD.